right, welcome back into the Coach Holcomb Show, brought to you by Kia of Rainbow City and Gadsden. Coach, had an off week this past week. Finally had a chance to get some rest and, recoup and get some much needed off time. Talk about that and the timing of it in the season.
Yeah, I know going into the year, we knew we had a week 9, bye week. So we also knew we were asking a lot out of our guys, and I have an idea of what they're used to, and what they were used to doing in the past, and I think that, we just hit a little bit of a wall, and I was hoping like maybe we could push through the wall just a little bit, or if we could just make it to the bye week, where we had a time to kind of refocus and kind of, get back refreshed. And we just didn't. We hit a wall just a little bit early. But, I thought our guys did an awesome job coming in on the bye week. I mean, we had back-to-back weeks where we didn't play our best. And, we knew we didn't play our best. And they did a good job coming in last week, making sure that we were focused on us. And we had 3 really good days last week, and we wasn't game planning nobody. Like, we didn't look ahead to nothing. Like, we just did what we did. We went good on good all week last week. We went tackle to the ground back last week. We went full pads 2 of the 3 days last week, and so just kind of got back to some of the stuff that made us us. And then I was super proud of them. They didn't come in here and hang their heads. Like, we got 3 good lifts in last week. They didn't come in here with a poor me's, or they didn't come in here pouting. They knew the things that we needed to get fixed. We had a really good team meeting on Monday, I thought, last week, and we met as a coaching staff after the Scottsboro game. We had a list of things that we felt like had to be addressed with our team. And it wasn't the stuff that happens on the field. Like, that wasn't the stuff that we felt like needed to be addressed. Like, it was some of the no talent stuff that, we did early in the season that kind of got us where we wanted to be. And then we got there, and then all of a sudden, like, we stopped doing some of those no talent things because we felt like we were entitled to certain things because we had won some, and that's something with a team that has a new culture and, has new leadership, and it's got new coaching staff, and we got new players, and, sometimes that stuff happens. And so it was our job as coaches to make sure that we got our guys back refocused and making sure that we kept the main thing. And so I felt like last week we did that and had a chance to kind of get back. And our kids were excited to get here on Sunday. We told them, hey, like, everything else is in the past. We are 0-0 coming back in here on Sunday. And
yes.
So we know what's ahead of us. But, one thing is we had talked about having, it would have been awesome if we'd have had the bye week a couple weeks earlier. But I think one thing as a coaching staff that was really good for us is towards the end of the seasons and after a season's over, every coach kind of goes back and you're like, well, I wish we could have changed this, and maybe we could have tweaked that just a little bit, and maybe if we would have done this a little bit different, it'd have helped. And having the bye week, week 9 allowed us not to have to wait till the following season. Mm-hmm. We could look at, hey, this is what we've been doing. It's not been working for us, or this is what we've been doing. It's been working. And we want to keep this in here, but we don't want to do this as much. Or maybe we tweak this just a little bit. So it allowed us this week to kind of go back, readjust maybe some scheduling stuff, readjust the way we were doing some stuff schematically. And we didn't have to wait a whole season. We didn't have to go through an off season to make those changes. We got a chance to make those changes last week and this week. So I think that's going to end up benefiting us going forward.
Speaking of not looking ahead, obviously the playoffs first rounds are set for most teams. It is for y'all. Do you almost wish that was not the case?
A little bit, maybe knowing who the opponent is in some aspects of it, because you want your kids to make sure that, like we said, we got to stay focused and stay locked in. And so when you come in, when our kids came in on Sunday, all right, there's a bunch of posters on the wall that says Panther football, and it's got a barbershop.
I seen that. I was wondering what that was
or not, but there's a bunch of them. We put them up everywhere, and we told them when they left here last week, hey, we're 0-0, and we're treating this week like a playoff game, you know. And so I'm a barber guy. I get my hair cut every week. Like, I love getting my hair cut, all right? And so the barber pole, we said, hey, when you get in here, we explained it to them. Said, you're going to have a barbershop mentality. And like, they kind of looked at me and they're like, and I said, hey, what do you do? What does a barber do? And they just kind of looked at me again. This team meeting on Sunday. And I'm like, well, here's what they do. They get a guy in a chair, right? They do their job. They cut that guy up. They get that guy out of the chair and they get the next guy in the chair. And so that's the mindset. That's the mentality that we've got going forward. Right now, Etowah's in the chair for us. And so until we take care of Etowah, they're going to stay in the chair. And then once the Etowah game's over, we'll get them out of the chair and we'll put Mountain Brook in the chair. And so our kids have done a really good job. You know it's a rivalry game. They know it's a rivalry game. And so I don't think any of our guys, I guess that's the benefit of having a rivalry game week 10, is none of them are kind of looking forward to anything else. And I told our coaches on Sunday, like, there's no doubt, you know, Mountain Brook's a tall order. It's a tall task. We know what's ahead of us. I was like, but we're 0-0. We told our kids we're going to be 0-0. And we told our kids we're going to stay focused. And like, we can't be the ones that start straying off that focus and start looking ahead to something else, or start, you know, taking our focus away from the task that's at hand this week, because it's a big one too, you know. And so we if we're in it, we expect it to be a big one, you know. And our kids are going to go play, and they've had a really, really good week of practice, because they kind of know what's at stake, you know. And we told them, hey, you keep winning, you keep playing. So that's the mindset we've had.
The Southside Etowah rivalry, is that something you were fully aware of?
You know, I think a little bit. Everybody explained to me like the old Crossville-Geraldine rivalry, because we're so close to each other. That's kind of how people explained it to me. You know, I think there's a little bit more vitriol in it than I thought there was. You know, and it is what it is. You know, I told our guys, like, we're not going to worry about anybody else. Like, we're not going to worry about what somebody's saying or what somebody does. Like, they know, like, people post stuff about me all the time. Like, I don't care, you know, because the ones that post stuff, I'm not going to ask them for any advice anyway. So I don't care what those people think. You know?
I almost wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah, you know, like, I told our guys, like, you can't control that. Like, you can't control what other people think. You can't control what other people do. And our biggest thing going forward is, like, control you. Like, we can control us. We can control what we do. And everybody's like, well, there's a lot of penalties last year, and there's a lot of this, and there's a lot of that. And, like, I don't think neither team's the same. Like, I don't think they're the same team. I don't think we're the same team. There's a lot of new faces on both sides. You know, there's a lot of new faces for them. And there's, you know, we got a completely new team, I feel like, for us. Like, we're different styles, you know. So there's not a whole lot of things that's going to be the same from this year to last year, you know. But I felt like our kids have played hard, especially, you know, even the last couple of weeks. You know, we played hard. We didn't execute very good. You know, we didn't do the small things very well. But it's never been a question of effort, you know. And so we needed a bye week to kind of clean some stuff up and get some execution back the way it needed to be, and take care of the no talent stuff that we needed to get cleaned up, and I feel like we've done that so far.
So, your coaching tree, you are in the Coach Niblick coaching tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hoover had a big win last week, and you were there. Luckily, it was an off week for you. You went and took some guys from up here and went down there, and Hoover was able to pull off that. I say it's an upset, but I don't think they view it as an upset.
No, they don't view it as an upset. You know, I don't want to speak for them. I don't know. I didn't view it as an upset. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't. I viewed it as two good football teams playing each other, because I think that's what they are, two really good football teams. And you know, I had a chance to play in those games a couple times, and but it was awesome to watch. You know, those guys do what they did. I had a chance to coach on the team that those seniors were sophomores, and then you know, RJ was a receiver and started for us as a freshman, and so it was awesome to see them have some success. You know, you love getting to go back and see the guys that you had a chance to coach that have graduated and gone on. There's so many guys back watching that game, and what I took from it was, and what I talked to our team about, I think having the bye week this late in the season, especially for our seniors, because sometimes it becomes a grind. Like you feel like it's Groundhog Day. You're doing the same stuff week in, week out. Well, we had a chance to figure out what it felt like for the rest of the state to be playing football, and we were sitting at the house. And I don't think our kids enjoyed it. I don't think our kids had a good feeling about not getting a chance to play. And like as much fun as it was to go watch, coach and go watch those guys compete, like our guys still want to play football.
Come Friday night, you were missing that field.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that. But yeah, it was awesome to watch Coach them on Friday, because he deserves everything that he gets. People hate on him a lot, but I can tell you he don't care about it, because he's going to do things the way that he's supposed to do it, and he's going to do things the right way, and he's going to get his kids to play the right way, and that they do, And I talked to him after the game, and I told him, I was like, it was inspiring to watch how hard those kids played, and you only play that way because you care about the guys that coach you. And coach and the guys that are on that staff do a really good job of pouring into those kids that are on their football team, and those kids, play their tails off for them too.
So you are a very meticulous and organized guy. You have your game day planned down to the minute. Talk about keeping that going during the playoffs and how you will adjust eating time. I know that you like the guys to get some rest, and a bus ride really does that.
Absolutely. I think we're all creatures of habit. I think just our habits are a little bit different, and so I like to stay as much as close to my comfort zone of habits as possible. And so we've already kind of started. The only thing that we've looked ahead to, because it's the only thing that you have to look ahead to, is figuring out the itinerary for a game day when you got to travel. Mm-hmm. And you kind of got to go just a little bit further than normal. And so trying to figure out what's the best way for our kids, because you can plan it and this, hey, this would be cool to do, or this would be something fun to do. You look at it, and from a coach's perspective, you want to make it as business-like and as regular game day as possible, because you don't want your kids to feel like, hey, this is a field trip. No, we're going over there, and we got a plan. Hey, this is what we want to do. We want to keep playing, and the team that you get to go play's got a plan too. And obviously being a 4 seed going to play a 1 seed, you know what that entails, and you know what stigma that entails. And so you got to make sure that your kids are focused and they don't feel like we're going over there to have a good time. The good time happens if you get the win. Then you can have a good time on the way home, And so it's just, as you look at it and as you try to plan it out as best you can, you try to figure out what's best for the kids. What's going to keep them focused, what's going to keep them locked in, what's going to make them understand, hey, this is what we're going to do, and some of that goes with how you prepare, making sure they understand what's ahead of them the next day. And so I think our staff does a good job of making sure our kids understand, hey, this is what's coming up, this is what you got to be prepared for, this is what we're focused on right now, but you also got to know, this is what's coming ahead of you. This is next, these are the next steps that you got to take, these are the next things we're going to do. So you don't try to spring anything crazy on them at the last minute to kind of throw them off. So you just got to make sure you can keep it as normal for them as possible.
I can promise you this. I have come out 2 or 3 times, and from the very start of the warm-ups, when you do your activations, all the way to coming out onto the field. And it's like playing 5 quarters. If I told the guys, I said, if y'all ain't warmed up when the game starts, it's your own fault. Yeah. Because they should have a good sweat worked up. Yeah. I think that has really helped, because they're ready to go as soon as the ball's kicked.
It just gives us a chance to go out there, and the great part about being offense and defense and being split the whole time is you get a chance to go compete against each other pregame. And we feel like that our defense, does a really good job in what they do. And we also feel like that what we do offensively gives people some issues. And so our defense having to prepare for that every week, because we still go good on good throughout the week. And then having a chance to kind of get back in that game mode on Thursday with some good on good stuff at the end. And, get back with some good stuff and getting a chance to compete pregame is just one of those things that, some people can't do, and we get it. We're blessed enough to be able to do that because of the numbers we got and the kids we got.
Well, Coach, I know you've got a lot to do, and I know you're busy, so I'll let you go. But before I let you go, I'm going to need to get a statement, an official statement about Coach Scoop's facial hair.
So Coach Scoop right now, he's got that handlebar mustache.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think his wife's happy about it. I don't. That's a rumor. That is rumored that she's not a fan. I love it.
When I had my stash, my wife was not a fan.
I don't know if you've seen our DBs, our DB coaches. Both DB coaches have mustache right now. I don't know if it's mustaches, mustache-eye. I don't know. I'm a math guy. I'm not a grammar guy. So, I think it's phenomenal. He looks like a 1993, weight room strength and conditioning guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's all he's missing is the bike shorts and the crew socks, and he would be the perfect 1994 football coach.
He'd want the players to sign some kind of contract.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But it's very interesting. I liked it. I can appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate it, and thank you to Kia of Rainbow City and Gadsden, and look forward to next week, Coach.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.